Hey, what's up? I got some more lore content for you guys. So I have a little update video as I've done in the past for the previous tournaments. I'm here to answer the biggest and most prevalent question I've got recently, which is, what is your tournament lineup looking like? What are you bringing this time around? Are you still bringing Mono Shadow Isles, Pirate Aggro, and Deep? Well, the quick answer to that is no. So I want to go through the 3 decks that I'm bringing, why I'm bringing them, and show off the lists, how they've been updated over the past couple months, and just give you guys the quickest and best updated list of the 3 tournament decks that I'm bringing. Going right into it, we're going to start with Azir Irelia, to no surprise. Everyone is going to bring this deck either to play or as ban bait because it's just free. A lot of people don't want to play against it, so it's absolutely free if you want to bring 2 decks of your own that have really good matchups and cover each other well. Just bring this too, because you're never going to play it, even if you don't know how, which it is a pretty simple deck to play at the end of the day, even if it doesn't get banned. So we have that going for us. If I do manage to play this deck though, I have 2 Rite of Calling instead of the 2 Inspiring Marshal, because I like being kind of greedy with my champions, and this also helps when the Draven or other removal based deck matchups, which is really hard for this deck to win normally. So you can like throw out your Azir or your Irelia and then be able to do a Rite of Calling play to recycle your resources, get some new ones. Sometimes you have to sacrifice a champion, or not champion, a unit. Sometimes you have to sacrifice your mana gem, but it's okay either way, because if you have more champions, then you're winning with this deck essentially. It also helps you unbrick some hands. So the main reason I like to use this is sometimes if you attack on evens and you open, let's say, Dunekeeper, Dice, and Azir, and like something else, like maybe your Syncopation, that's your opening hand, right, and your Rite of Calling. So you do Dunekeeper on defense 1, Rite of Calling the Sand Soldier, and then boom, you have another champion in hand. Since you already see Azir, this is what, a 3 out of 5 chance of drawing your Irelia, so you have both champions to work with going into turns 3, 4, 5, where you're trying to do like your powerhouse turns. Or you can get like another copy of Azir as well, so you can play one relatively safely. Maybe it gets Culling Striked, you bait some removal, and then you get to play your second one. It's literally, you know, not bad to run at least, and at most at 2. I like it at 2. I wouldn't run 1 of, and I wouldn't run 2 of, and I think it's still better than Ancient Preparations and stuff like that. Other than that, the deck is pretty much just a basic version of the deck that everyone runs. The 3 Droplet, the Dunekeeper, the Shapestone, Sparring Student of course because he's broken, Dice because it's broken, Greenglade Duo because it's broken if it's not answered, 2 Lead and Follow and 2 Retreat. I really like the 2 and 2. I don't like running 3 because then you start bricking on either of these. So I like the 2 and 2 just for protection. Syncopation as either a protection spell in order to protect one of your champions. Let something target, like let's say your Dancing Droplet or your Dunekeeper, right? Or you can also get some cheesy lethals with it sometimes. It's a nice little one-up to have. You can replace, you know, Syncopation with a 3rd of either of these if you prefer that, or whatever else you want to do. Triple Azir, triple Irelia, triple Homecoming to deal with slower matchups, and triple Blossoming Blade, of course. Like I said earlier, no Marshal. This is just good enough. Very solid. Plays out relatively simple. Same way every time. Basic game plan, so yep. Azir, Irelia, Pog. Next, I'm going to talk about Thrash Nasus. I'll save Deep for the last because that's old reliable. That's familiar. So Thrash Nasus, I just made a deck profile on it a couple weeks ago. This is the same list. This is the aggro version. So this came up from Nick Makes Plays a couple months ago. Then he gave the list to Mo, or Mo found it, and then he played it and liked it and climbed with it. Then he recommended it to Jay Sensational while I was watching Jason's stream, so I kind of stole it from chat, and then Jason got master with it this season. I played it to get master this season, so it's been around. This is just like a weird version of the deck that doesn't run Spirit Leech, it doesn't run Rite of Negation, and it doesn't run like anything else. Like sometimes people have Withering Wail, some people have Box. This is more of an aggro version with triple Wings and Wave to maximize your early game combo cards. So we have like the Butcher and Curse Keeper combo, but we also have Wings Curse Keeper, Wings Dunekeeper, Rite of Calling Dunekeeper, Wings Fading Icon Wings. So there's a lot of possible combinations that you just get some really crazy value turns 1 through 3 with this deck, and that's pretty much the whole goal. And then you like bridge the power on turn 4 and then immediately play Thresh on 5 and just use your removal spells as needed. Blighted Caretaker, oh, so awesome on attack 3 still. So it's good to keep him in at 2 of, so yeah, it's pretty simple. I have a very in-depth explanation of this deck, all the numbers, how to play it, example games and stuff in a video like I mentioned a couple weeks ago. So moving on to the 3rd and final deck, we have Deep. So at this point, I am known for two specific decks. One would be Mono Shadow Isles, which is like Wraith mid-range, I guess, just playing around Mist Wraiths and Hecarim and Harrowing. And the second deck is Deep, because I use these in all of the tournaments so far, even getting top 32 in the first tournament using both the decks when people said that neither of them were good. So we're bringing at least one of them with us today. And I think Deep is just a little bit more consistent and a little bit more powerful than Mono SI because of Sea Scarab's release a little while back and Bone Skewer actually being thrown into here. Spoiler alert, very cool card. So let's talk about the numbers. We got the triple Dreg, triple Jettison, of course, because we're going turbo. I'd consider this a very turbo version of Deep that has a lot of control tools. So we'll talk about that as we get to the cards themselves. 2 Bone Skewer is actually really cool. So you can use this as either a response or a proactive play. If you're using this as a response, it's normally like, let's say your Jaw Hunters is getting Vile Feasted or something is getting single combat. Well, you can say, okay, I'm going to Bone Skewer the thing and I'm going to get the resource back. This can be Dreg Dredgers, this can be Jaw Hunters being put at the top of the deck and then played again for more value, so Jaw will get you more sea monsters in hand. Dead Bloom, also pretty good card, be able to toss 3 on summon, same with Dreg. And it also deals damage to something. So I kind of like using this in Azir Irelia. So if you have Dreg on the board from, turn 1 and then the opponent plays Irelia and they use Flawless Duet, let's say, and they only have 1 spell mana left, well, they can't use Retreat to protect her or the other one as well. So you can just Bone Skewer Dreg and there goes Irelia, while also pushing forward your game plan of having a toss next turn. So it can come up, it's pretty cool. I've also used Bone Skewer to stop a Nasus using Atrocity, so that's the reactive play I was talking about. I had leveled Nautilus, 13-13. They had a Nasus, it was right at 10 attack. I just Bone Skewer. Bye bye Nasus. Saved my life, saved the Atrocity, just got rid of it, and absolutely won me the game immediately. You can also do this in combination with Vile Feast to take off Aurelian Soul Spell Shield, and then Bone Skewer your Nautilus into the Aurelian Soul, and that's basically 4 mana Vengeance. So it can definitely come up. I like it. It's pretty good at 2 of. I wouldn't run 3 or anything like that, but yeah. We have Sea Scarab, of course, being broken. Vile Feast really good against 1 HP units. Dead Bloom, Jaw, triple Lure of the Depths. So I'm running a Lure version of the deck and then only one of each of these sea monsters, so that Lure has a high chance of drawing Sea Scarab, because if you get multiple Sea Scarabs out early, it's absolutely insane, and you actually don't need to hard run many of your sea monsters. So I run 1 Abyssal Eye, 1 Devour, 1 Shipwreck, because I don't want to see these in my opening hand at all. And if they get tossed, like let's say every single one of them is at the bottom of the deck, no problem, because Nautilus is going to put them all back in anyways when you go deep, so, and summon him. And any sea monsters that you're lacking, you can just get from Jaw Hunters. So what Lure does here is it has a high chance of drawing your Scarab, especially if you do manage to draw like any of your one of sea monsters, and then you're able to play out multiple Scarabs, have Scarab, Maokai resolve, and it's just kind of crazy. This is like a very fast version of Deep that I like running, and it also has removal and draw, so it's like really flexible. I tech this specifically against Azir Irelia, so we have the Bone Skewer out and we have the box as an out, because I plan on playing this against Azir Irelia in tourney. I'm not banning it because I have Thrash Nasus, I have Azir Irelia, which I can win the mirror, and I have this very specific tech version of Deep. So this may not be the best ladder Deep, but this is a very good tournament lineup in my roster essentially. So after Lure, we got the triple Maokai, of course. I was running 1 and 2 Maokais, but I kind of like having them back up to 3 since I'm really playing around Maokai plus summoning a cheap unit that I get from Lure of the Depths, like the Sea Scarab going down to 1 cost or free if I resolve 2, getting the Abyssal Eye cheaper and stuff like that. So Maokai is actually really good at ramping in this deck, ramping to deep, and also getting his level up condition met. You'll technically only need 1 against control matchups, but I'm using this as anti-aggro, like I said, and Maokai, really good at contesting the board. Double Salvage for draw, pretty simple. Double Box. Box is very nice against Azir Irelia. Can also hit a lot of other things that are being summoned. If I fight some kind of weird deck, Box might be an out to it. So yeah, got Abyssal Eye, 2 Withering Wail, really good against Azir Burn, really good against Jinx Draven discard aggro, which I plan on playing against, and really good against Azir Irelia. Devour, of course, double Atrocity for alternate win condition, triple Nautilus, of course, and one Shipwreck Hoarder for more alternate win conditions, being able to toss and create treasures. Shipwreck Hoarder is also very good against TLC, which this deck should be pretty good against. So they obliterate your deck, then you just play Shipwreck Hoarder, no problem, and you're deep if you're not deep already, and then you got treasures to work with. Maybe you can find some outs with treasure chests and, you know, a bunch of 8/8s. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to give an update on the 3 decks, my thought process going into it, my matchups. So feel free to watch on Saturday. I'm going to try to live stream it and make it into some videos. So if you can't watch the live stream, don't worry. I'll be posting some of the highlight games over the course of the next week. Also, all the deck codes will be in the description below, along with the Mobalytics links, so you guys can try these out and play them for yourself. And that's it for this one. Please like and subscribe if you thought this video was informative or entertaining. It really helps me out since I'm still trying to grow. Very close to the 5K milestone, so it'd be awesome if you subscribed, recommend a friend and whatnot. And I'll be releasing more deck profiles, guides, and gameplay highlights in the near future. Thank you so much for watching and have a good one. Laters. Wish me luck.